The topic today is Mojo. Today's listener wants to know, where did her mojo go and how to get it back and how to keep it there, how to get it going, how to get that mojo flowing for her business. Well, I will share my best tips that I have used to keep my mojo going and build $2 million businesses. So let's start, first of all, by assessing how you really feel. Is this a case of where your mojo is just, going through a little bit of a bad patch? Or is it a case of where you've been thinking about leaving your business for weeks and months and you are really feeling like it's time to change and you have no desire anymore? Now, from the email that you sent us, I don't think this is you, but I'm mentioning this because some of our listeners, this may be you. And if this is you, then you know what? Don't get your mojo back. Maybe you're getting a little bit of a nudge that it's time to transition to something else. Maybe you need some time off just to journal a little bit, walk around, let your brain simmer some new ideas, think of some new things that might be on your radar, start a new business or move in a different direction. There's nothing wrong with changing your business or quitting completely. Nobody gets a badge for grinding through something that they're not enjoying. So if you feel like this is a transition for you or a time for you to say goodbye to one business and move on to another, give yourself permission to do that. And maybe even support it with some little phrases in your mind like, I'm transitioning, I'm simmering some new ideas, I know this is a new phase, I'm feeling this way because there's something new on the radar for me. That type of thing. Now, in the case of the listener who wrote in, I don't think this is you. I think you actually are just having a little moment. You're in a little phase where you're just losing your enthusiasm, you're feeling a little bored, and you're not really thinking of actually quitting your business. You really just want to get your mojo back for your business that you love, and you do love your business. So tip number 2 is to remember that. Look back on what is it that you love about your business? Why did you start it in the first place? When you started your business, you had a lot of enthusiasm about it. So really tap into that and really think about where you were when you started. Now, caveat, when you do this, you're not allowed to say the word but, because what'll happen sometimes when you're in a little bit of a low point is you might want to go, yeah, I started my business because I thought yada, 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 but I figured out this. So you're only allowed to look back at starting your business without using the word but. All right, next tip is to look at the people that you've helped. Like, really make a long list of the people who you have helped have some kind of transformation. Who are your biggest fans? Take a look at that, and maybe you even reach out to one. Maybe you reach out to somebody, or you have that memory of the before and after picture of those people. If you like to journal or you like to write, spend some time writing about it. Like, so-and-so came to me and this was the position that they were in, this was the shape that their life was in, or their particular problem, and here's the transition that they went through. Really own that you went out in the world and you shared something that worked for you and it helped somebody, it helped someone else, and that will help to reignite your enthusiasm. The next thing I want to mention is read your praise. Hopefully you have a habit of clipping any and screenshotting anything good that somebody says about your business or your product and saving it somewhere, either online or physically. Sometimes people will actually write you letters, or if they are writing you emails or giving you praise, save it and have it in a file so that you can look at it when at times like this, when you need to remember why you do what you do. All of us get bored with our own message from time to time. We're saying the same things, we're offering the same advice because it's advice that's worked for us and we know what works. And so it's not like it's very unusual to kind of get bored with your own shtick because you think, I've said it. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. I don't need to say it again and again. Well, guess what? Not everybody does know it. You have to share it because there are people out there who haven't heard it yet. And if you need that reminder, take a look at the people who have said, you have helped me. You have changed my life. You have made a difference. It's never, you can never hear that too often. And if you're not doing it on a regular basis, then I would suggest reading that material again and again and again. And if you do it right now, it will help you with your mojo. The next thing, and this is going to sound really counterintuitive, but I'm going to tell you it works. And then I'm going to tell you why it works. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to go into like a Reddit or a Quora forum, or just even do a Google search for someone who thinks the opposite that you do. Somebody who is preaching the opposite of what you're preaching. So in my case, I would look for the guy who is saying hard work is the only way to build a business. You got to grind and you got to get up at 5 a.m. So I would look for somebody who is writing a beautiful blog article about hard work being the only way. So you're looking for that person who is espousing the exact opposite of what you espouse. And find a blog post or a podcast or a video or something and make yourself watch it or read it, because you know what's going to happen? You're going to get angry and you're going to be like, oh, this is so wrong. And you're going to want to say what you think. You're going to want to react to it. Now, you might be thinking, Dana, you're a mindset person, aren't you? Like, why would you be giving me something that's going to make me angry? That doesn't make any sense. Well, here's why. When you're feeling kind of bored or blah or depressed or no mojo or, anything like those kind of negative emotions that are really like, oh, I don't even want to get out of bed. As you look at the emotional scale, as you look at the way that emotions move, and I won't get too far into this in this particular video because it's a big subject, but if you look in the notes, the description, we'll link you to a video where it explains the emotional scale a little bit better. Well, what happens when you're in those really lethargic, depressed feelings? Getting angry gets you moving in the right direction. Anger is active and it gets you feeling like, oh, you want to do something, you want to react. Now, obviously, you don't want to stay angry forever. You want to move into better feelings like feeling hopeful or belief or happiness or joy or any of those. But that initial hit of anger will get you moving in the right direction and get you in a reactive state and make you feel like, oh my gosh, this person is out here espousing all of this stuff that's completely wrong, and it will make you want to act. Everything I've said so far, this particular thing is probably the thing that will ignite you the most and get you excited about your business again. Now, having said that, I've got a few more that I think are even better, especially after you do the angry one. So the next one is have a conversation with ChatGPT, or your favorite AI device, and just type in and say, ask if they can be if the AI can act like a business strategist, and then say, here's how I'm feeling. Here's what my business is about. Can you help me to think of some new ideas? Can you help me ignite my mojo with some new, more cutting edge ideas? What are some new things I could do with this material? What are some new things I could create? What are some new programs I could create, or offerings, or whatever it might be? And you will be amazed at how much fun it is to play with AI and to get different ideas and to banter back and forth. And you might find, especially after you are now railing against the bad information that's out there, you might find that it takes you the rest of the way on the emotional scale. It gets you excited, gets you happy, gets you moving. And then the final thing I want to tell you, and this is probably the easiest thing, and you can start doing it right now, right this second. Most people don't realize that the words we use affect how we feel. So right now, you are saying words to yourself over and over again like, I've lost my mojo. I've just lost my mojo. I don't feel like doing anything. I don't feel like working my business. I've lost my mojo for my business. I've just lost my mojo for my business. I've lost my mojo. Now, I mean, what did I say it 7, 8 times there? I lost my mojo. And I can tell you that even hearing that 7 or 8 times, you start to feel like, oh, I lost my mojo. I just lost my mojo. I don't feel like doing anything. So words impact your emotions. And I'm not kidding you. Try this. It's as easy as starting to shift the wording just a little bit, and you will start to feel better. Intentionally think in your own head. Don't just be regurgitating the same thing over and over again. Think a new thought. And the new thought you could be thinking is, I'm starting to feel a little better. I'm starting to feel like I'm getting my mojo back. I'm starting to feel like I'm getting my mojo back. I'm starting to feel a little better. I'm noticing I'm starting to get my mojo back. It feels so good. I'm starting to notice that I'm getting my mojo back. I'm starting to feel better. I'm starting to get some new ideas. I'm starting to notice. I'm not even saying I've got my mojo back. I'm starting to notice. I'm starting to feel better. I'm starting to feel better. I'm starting to notice I'm getting my mojo back. I'm starting to feel better. I'm starting to get ideas. I'm starting to feel better. I'm starting to get my mojo back. I'm feeling better. I'm starting to feel better. It feels so good. I'm really starting to feel better. I'm starting to feel much better. I'm starting to get my mojo back. It feels so good. It feels so good to get my mojo back. I'm starting to feel better. I love that I'm starting to feel better. I'm starting to get new ideas. I'm starting to feel better. I'm starting to feel like I want to take action. I'm starting to get my mojo back. It feels so good to get my mojo back. I love that I'm getting my mojo back. I love that I'm moving forward. It feels so good. I'm starting to get my mojo back. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I'm starting to get my mojo back. Now, really, it's so super ridiculous, right? I just did that for 60 seconds, the same 2 or 3 sentences over and over and over again. But I'm going to tell you something right now. You do that for 60 seconds and your brain will start to kick in for you. Your brain will start to think of other sentences, and even better, you start to feel it, don't you? I'll bet you did. I'll bet you started to feel it right there. So make it easy. All of these ideas that I just shared, they're not so challenging to do. They aren't going to take you like days and days and days to get your mojo back. You could sit down literally in the next 30 minutes, do the things I told you in this episode, even the next hour, take an hour for yourself to get your mojo back. And you're going to see that you're already starting to get excited and you're fired up and ready to do it. If you are ready to be on the Mojo momentum train, give me an oh yeah in the comments. Make sure to check out the description for all of the free items I've got for you. And without a doubt, you've totally got this.